there's not enough time. So I want to take you back to 1997 when I was still with the civil protection response in Germany, and we had very significant flooding on our eastern border, the river on the border to Poland, which was quite a severe situation because that part of eastern Germany is basically below flood levels, and only because there's massive levees, as you also have in like, for example, the New Orleans area in the US, that are basically holding back the river. And the river at the time was flooding so severely that it was literally level with the top of the levees. And what happens in these situations is that basically the soil soaks up all the water. It becomes like jelly. And as much as you can sandbag these structures to a certain extent, they very quickly get close to breaking point. We had an area of about a few square kilometers with about 10,000 people living there, normal, a number of villages that we would have had to evacuate had the levees broken, and basically they hadn't been evacuated, and we were just desperately trying to hold up the levees. And we were literally, at the time, we were helicoptering in. We had to use helicopters because the dikes were so soggy you could not even drive on them to deliver sandbags, to airdrop sandbags and then put them on by hand. So it was pretty severe. And I was there for a whole week running about 20 units in our system, which was about 200 people, trying to coordinate them in terms of trucking sandbags to places where helicopters could pick them up, but also providing lighting for so floodlights for overnight operation, because it was a 24-hour operation, and various other logistics tasks to back up that part of where we had to like keep the levees intact and hold back the water. And that was a very intense experience, and I spent the whole week. I recall that as like a 24. We didn't sleep much. We just ran very, very long shifts and just had some short sleeps in between. And we had pretty much complete chaos because we kind of had to scale up that operation very quickly. I had to work those 20 units that I had. There were about 10, 15 people each. I didn't know them. I had never met them. They were coming in from different areas. I was just doing the overall management of that particular part of the response. And we literally always had that dooming over us that we had to evacuate, including our units. So it was a very harrowing experience. And what I find with hindsight, most importantly about it, is that we never really, when we got through it, we never really stopped to actually think about how it happened and why it happened and why it potentially could have gotten so wrong, because we were in a really bad situation and we could have been in a situation with significant loss of life. So we just walked away from it. We never really paused to think about it.